All right. Hello, everybody. All right. So the first time, apparently, my sound wasn't working. And actually, now I'm going to start over again because I wasn't hitting the record button. Welcome, everybody, to the Dreamers Podcast. I'm your host, Super Joe Pardo, and this is actually the second or third time that I'm doing this now. Uh, this is episode 238. It's kind of late right now. It's almost 10 o'clock, so for me to be doing this. So Matt, unfortunately, is probably sleeping right now. He should be sleeping if he's not. Guy doesn't get enough sleep as it is. Ava is sleeping, so she's not able to join me either. But we're here. We're having a good time, and now that my sound works, because the sound didn't work the first time. Okay, so this week after the jump, I have the awesome Victor Yocco on my show. I did an interview with him like a couple months ago. He's an author, speaker, and research director. So stay tuned. If you're listening here on Facebook Live, that's awesome. But the interview will come out tomorrow on Tuesday, the 12th, July 12th. That is. For the interview with Victor Yocco. Also, you can watch this on YouTube at superjoepardo.com/tube. This episode is brought to you by MoviMail. It's the awesome motivational mail community where you write up a letter, stuff into a, inspirational stuff into a standard envelope and send it off to MoviMail. Then MoviMail takes that letter and sends it off to another MoviMail member, and you don't know who's going to get it. They don't know what they're going to get or who their letter is going to go to, and that's what we're basically trying to build is a analog Twitter for motivational messages. And we all know that given all the negativity that has happened in the recently, having motivational and inspirational letters come right to you is a really awesome service that we provide over at movymail.com. That's MOVY mail.com. So before I get started, I got to give a shout out to my man Adam. He hasn't been on the show yet, but he will be. We did an interview like a month or two ago. Let me put it closer so that you could see it on Facebook Live. He was just sending me a thank you card for donating Legos to his organization. So adambrickguy.com, you can go check that out. He's really awesome. He basically brings Legos to like halfway houses and to places where mothers can play with Legos with their children, or rehab centers, stuff like that. I'm not sure of all the details, but the interview will be out in like a month or so, and you should go check out adambrickguy.com for more details on that. I got to give a shout out to my girl Kim Trumbo, who came out with her second book, Allie the Accepting Alligator, the follow-up to George the Generous Giraffe. And it's a wonderful book. I'm happy to support her. Wrote a nice little review for her on Amazon. So go check it out on Amazon. Just type in Allie, or just type in Kim Trumbo, or if not, Allie the Accepting Alligator into Amazon, and help support an awesome person with a huge heart. If you haven't listened to the episode with Kim Trumbo, go check it out. Just go to superjoepardo.com and click on the little magnifying glass in the top right and type in Kim. It should just come up under Kim. You shouldn't even have to type in Trumbo. Oh man. Okay. So, there's a topic that I wanted to get to. I was hoping Matt was going to be here to talk about it. I probably could wait, but I gotta, if you've been following me on Facebook Live, I've been doing a ton of videos of us playing this thing called HTC Vive, where it's virtual reality, and it's in the home, and it's amazing. It's incredible. It's magical. It's like the best experience that you could have at, say, like a Disney World, and you're bringing it into the home for like a minimal amount of money. And while there's tons of technology, and if you know anybody that has one, I would definitely suggest making a trip to their house to go play it. But I don't want to talk about that so much as I want to talk about the idea that the old way of doing things is actually the foundation for the new way. And I want to kind of equate that to the HTC Vive VR virtual reality experience. With virtual reality, there's a lot of new technologies. Things are constantly evolving and all that. And if you've done virtual reality before, you might have a benchmark in your mind of what the experience would be like. But this is not like that experience. And specifically what I want to talk about is the technology as far as the infrared sensors that go into making it happen. So like we have cameras and we have monitors and we have cell phones, and they're awesome and they do incredible things. What they all kind of built upon older things that have existed in the past. Like we're constantly evolving that technology. But specifically, one of the things that makes the HTC Vive amazing is that you can actually move around in any direction in your room, and you're moving around in the experience. So why that's amazing is because the technology that enables you to do that is infrared technology. The same infrared technology that we've had in remotes for decades and decades. The same infrared technology that is in this is why I like having Matt here, because he helps fill in the gaps of the thought train. The same infrared technology that like made the light gun possible. With Duck Hunt on the original Nintendo, and it's like 30 years, getting close to 30 years later, and here we are, with something that can track our movements inside of a room, and portray it to us in a first-person aspect, which makes it so amazing. So my point with all this is that the old ways and the old stuff that we use is just the foundation for the new things that we enjoy today. And to relate that to business, if you're building upon something, say it's like a new management system, say like an inventory management system, it doesn't necessarily have to be 100% different to be effective. There's, excuse me. I'm still getting over this cough that I've been wrangling with. If you have the procedures and all, and you're trying to incorporate that into the new, like a new system, a new way of doing it, you have to start with what was already in existence, the way that you were doing it before. Just because you add technology or computers to the situation doesn't mean that you're necessarily making it 110% different. You might be changing the way you're going about it, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to completely revolutionize everything to make it better. You just need to build upon what the foundation of the old way of doing things is. So maybe what you were doing with paper and pencil is now you're bringing that into a computer. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that just because it's in a computer makes it automatically better. Definitely not. It needs to be better in a lot of ways, where how we interact, how the user interfaces, how is it easy or is it complicated? Now, it might be complicated to some people because they aren't used to using computers for certain tasks, or now, like from before. But the point that I'm trying to make is that you can expand upon what was, say, with paper to moving to a computer in such a way where you can go in steps. It doesn't have to be all or nothing to be great. It just needs to be better. And if you explain it in a way that makes sense to the people that are going to be using it, because inevitably they're probably not going to like it up front. because it's different. People don't like change. Change means they have to learn something new. That means they have to evolve themselves. That means they have to think outside of what they thought was the norm. And it's very difficult for people to fit into that, like fitting the circle into the or the square into the round peg. Like it doesn't, or the square peg into the round hole. There you go. It isn't always easy for people to adjust to that. So it's definitely tough. But if you build upon and you show people the path of going, like, okay, well, this is how we used to do things, and now we're going down a path that makes it easier for everybody. That's what we're trying to get to, and that's why I just wanted to, like, I love I got to tell you, the Vive hasn't been on. Today's the first day that nobody has come over, and nobody has been playing the Vive since Wednesday. Every single day somebody has been here or somebody's been playing it. So it's incredible that something like this could be brought into the home, and it's incredible to me that the technology goes back, that's really the essence of what makes it amazing, goes back to a remote control. The same technology that made it possible to change channels from across the room without being tethered to a wire is what enables you to be able to experience a three-dimensional room environment where you're able to just, you want to look over there or walk over there. You don't have to hit a button. You just do it. It just happens. Another topic I wanted to talk about this week, and I'm so thankful for everyone that reached out to me, and there's still some people I need to get back to, and the lessons that I've learned from doing it is the word ask. So I put out a message. It was I think it was like mid last week or early like Tuesday, Wednesday of last week, asking people if you were looking, because I was actually getting ready to raise my rates for my web design clients. So I was like, hey, if anybody out there that I'm friends with, and I want to hook them up with a great site, and I want to make sure that I do right by them. If anybody out there is looking for a redesign on their website, a rebranding, or something to that effect, that as far as web development goes, reach out to me. I would love to give you a break before my price goes up this week at this point. And the response that I got was incredible. At first, I didn't get it. I don't think I got anything. But as a couple hours went by, and all of a sudden, before I knew it, just like 2 days later, I had 10 leads to people that either are interested in getting it done right now or are interested in getting it done in the very near future. So asking for what you need or what you want, like, you're not going to get anything if you don't ask. But if you ask, the potential to get something, and especially if you're doing it from a place of like, I just want to help people, and especially before my rate goes up and all that, like, it's a great opportunity to help people, to connect with some people that maybe that you didn't really talk to before, maybe on your Facebook friends or your Twitter followers or something to that effect. Like, you get that opportunity to help them out, and even get to learn something about people that you didn't even know, and maybe they'll learn something about you. There was quite a few people who didn't even realize that I do web design, so it was funny that they're reaching out and they're like, hey, I didn't even know that you did this, Joe. And now they do. Now they know that there's something I do, and they've put it out there that they are looking for either a redesign or a new website altogether. And now I have more business than I know what to, not know what to do with, but I have a whole bunch of business that came my way just because I asked. That's it. So my point is you need to go out, and sometimes you just need to ask, and people were constantly, you always see like people, like, oh, I'm looking for a job, or I'm looking for something, or whether, even if it's like Craigslist or something to that effect. Not that I would want to post my, like my design, web design stuff on Craigslist, but putting it out there is definitely a great way to drum up a bunch of business and help a bunch of people that you know and care about. So definitely put it out. Definitely do that. Ask, and you'll be surprised. I was called a genius by one person just because I put that out there, and I'm like, I don't think that was a genius move on my part. I just think that I had a need and a want, and now other people had needs and wants, and we connected, and boom, now we're making websites, making dreams come true. Let me see, what else do I have here in my bag of topics that I wanted to talk about. I want you to be confident in your experience. I think it's really easy for us to fall into a pit of, well, we're not good enough. There's somebody else that does it better. And I know that I've fallen into that pit many a times. Especially with web design, like, just to go off that, what I was just talking about, when it comes to web design, like, I'm not a graphics designer, right? Like, I mean, I can work in Photoshop and I can do some things, but I'm not a graphic designer. I'm a layout designer. I can lay images out that are already created. I can edit images that are already created, but I'm not somebody that could, create the image and, like, build it out, the whole thing out in Photoshop, and then make it actually happen. So, but the thing is, it doesn't mean that the experience that I have, say building websites, it goes back to like 1996 for me. So I have a ton of experience, even before doing it in WordPress now. So I really think that sometimes we don't give ourselves enough credit for the experience that we have, that sometimes we feel like, oh, well, there's probably somebody that knows more than me or better than me. And that might be true. But we shouldn't discount what we have inside of us and what we've built, because what we've built isn't necessarily what everybody else has built. Sometimes it's really easy for us to discount the idea that, oh, well, that's just a website, and I build those things, and anybody could do that. Everybody could do that. But the fact of the matter is everybody can't do that, and there's value in that. It's inherently, there's value in that, and in the time, and not just the time it takes you to do something, but the time in which you had to study and you had to learn and you had to solve, be a problem solver, be that professional problem solver that I've talked about so many times before. It's really important for us to be able to look ourselves in the mirror and say, hey, look at what we've done. Look at what we've accomplished. It means something, and it means something to people. And I know personally, I've gotten to the point where I'm like, oh man, I really don't like computers. I can use computers, and everybody comes to me and asks me, oh, Joe, I need this problem solved or that problem solved. And I'm just like, ugh, I don't want to fix computers, because computers to me never work the way they're supposed to. So, but the thing is I've discounted myself and the experience in that sense, that like, hey, it's not, it's just something like, oh, it's just something that everybody should know. And that's really not the case, because we all specialize in something different. I mean, I try to do a lot of things. Obviously that's where part of the whole Super Joe Pardo comes from, but what you need to do is not let that get to you. You need to not let it get to you, and you need to make sure that you apply value and get what you're worth. And if you can't get what you're worth, or what you know that you're worth, then you need to just take a thank you and move on move on with that. So I'd like to keep going on. I have a couple other topics, but I still need to edit this episode and get it all together and get it ready for tomorrow, for Tuesday morning at 8 a.m. so you can listen to it at dreamerspodcast.com. One thing that I do want to mention, though, is or actually two things I want to mention before I wrap up here, is that I have not done my YouTube channel the way I've wanted to do it. I've been procrastinating on it. I've been sick and kind of busy, and also playing a lot of virtual reality, more than I probably should, these past couple days. So it is something that I do still plan on doing. It's something that I'd really would like to, dig in and get more out of it than I already have with these posting the pre-shows there at superjoepardo.com/tube. But so I just want to admit that I haven't been perfect in my quest to expand my reach into YouTube more. The other thing that I want to do is mention that this weekend I'm heading to New York City to talk at the United Nations on podcasting and the power of adding a podcast to your blog, because it's specifically a WordPress conference being held at the United Nations. So for all those who don't know, the United Nations is in New York. Apparently, a lot of people do not know that. It's okay, because I don't think I would have known that had I not already known that from, I don't even know why I knew that in the first place. But yeah, so if you're going to be in the New York area, I think it's like $40 and you can come hang out at the United Nations and learn a bunch of stuff about WordPress. It's all weekend long. It starts Friday, but most of the, all the talks and stuff is Saturday and Sunday. I'm speaking at 4:00 on Sunday afternoon, second to last. They saved the best for last, as they say, and I definitely feel that way with what I'm going to be putting on for them. So I'm looking forward to that. Again, it's at the United Nations, which is in New York City. It's $40. I think it's nyc.wordcamp.com. So go check it out. If you're going to be in the New York area, I'd love to maybe meet up. I think maybe Saturday night I might be able to hang out, do something. So yeah, just hit me up on Facebook. And yeah, I think that pretty much wraps up this pre-show. Again, no Ava, no Matt, just me, which is fine. I'm more than comfortable with that. Like I said, I had 2 or 3 more topics I wanted to talk about, and I guess I'll just save them for next week, including dealing with procrastination. That just seems to keep falling off the plate. So yeah, so stay tuned for After the Jump, where you'll get to get the interview with Victor Yocco, who is a author, speaker, and research director who lives right in my backyard. Victor, we gotta get together at some point for dinner or something like that. Just gotta make it happen. So, all right, I'm